Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. This is Starla Collins Ross, your school development coach with New Tech Network, and I am here to give you a couple of PBL tips. So, I had one of my teachers to email me the other day, and they just wanted a refresher around IAKTs. So, just to remind you of what an IAKT is, an IAKT is an individual assessment of knowledge and thinking. Of course, there's this big question around through the PBL process, how do you know what each individual student knows? Of course, and so you still have tests and quizzes and individual assignments that students are working throughout the PBL process. But to take it a step further, we wanted to embed IX within the projects to really show how students are thinking deeply about the content. And what better way to model thinking deeply than through individual pieces of writing? All right, so that's what our IX are for. So I want to give you a couple of tips to get you started on developing your IACT, but I will point you to more resources where you can go to make sure you're developing quality IACTs, because there's only so much I can share in just a couple of minutes, okay? So tip number one, determine the IAC type and then whether or not you want your IAC to be a final product or a benchmark. All right, so with your individual writing pieces, you can have your students to write an argumentative piece, persuasive, or informative piece. It is totally up to the content and the skills that you want to scaffold throughout that particular process. And then the IAC, their writing piece, can either be a final product or a benchmark. So you're probably talking about, what do you mean, lady? What I'm thinking about, and I hope that most of you guys have seen this little graphic here, is that your IAC can easily be a benchmark throughout the PBL process, or it can be a part of their final product. So along with the group final product, your IACT could be that individual piece that each student will turn in to show that they know and understand deeply the content by the end of the project. Okay? So, tip number two. What I want you to do is start to think about 1 to 2 descriptors from the knowledge and thinking rubric, and not just the knowledge and thinking rubric, but the written communication rubric, because the students are writing. So what I've done is I pulled both rubrics from ECHO, and I just decided that I wanted to focus on an 8th grade math knowledge and thinking rubric, and then the written communication of the 8th graders. But remember, I always tell you, don't try, when you're doing an IACT, an individual piece of writing, you're not giving your students the entire rubric. So you're not giving them this, but instead you're going to decide which descriptors or which domain you want to focus on from each of those rubrics. So as you can see, I pulled out the math rubric and I pulled out the written communication rubric here for 8th graders. And what I want to just focus on, just an example, is reasoning and proof for my math students. And then I want to just focus on whether or not they have developed the statement. So what is the evidence that they're going to provide? So regardless of what your content is, we're always looking for students to provide their evidence and give us proof of why the answer is correct. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is you will begin to create your task prompt. All right. With your task prompt, you want to start with we have templates, and I'm going to show you where those templates are. But I'll direct you to where those templates are. But you want to start with the driving question first and foremost. Then you move into whether or not whatever informative text or literary text you want them to use within that task, and then give clear and concise steps on how students will be thinking and writing through the particular template. All right, so a sample here is this Algebra 1 IACT. Starts with a driving question, moves into a text that they will be reading or thinking through. Then it gives them clear and concise steps on how they will be thinking through the actual content. Okay? So then my last tip is ECHO. Your resources. You can log into ECHO, click on the community tool then click on scaffolding literacy, and it will take you to all types of resources around developing your IACTs. For instance, there is an IACT quality checklist in ECHO. We have those rubrics available. We have the templates available to help you develop your IACTs. And we have not only the templates, but you also get the opportunity to see sample IACTs within ECHO. So remember, log into ECHO, click on the community tool. From the community tool, click on scaffolding literacy, and you'll see those resources. Also, if you have our quick reference guide as a teacher within the network, you will see that there is a section to help you in developing your IACTs as well, along with those templates. All right, so I hope this video is helping you to get started on developing your IACTs. And if you need additional individual support, reach out to your coaches or send me an email at sross@newtechnetwork.org. We are more than happy to help you in developing those particular IACTs. And again, this is our way of really showing how students are thinking deeply within our content. So don't forget those steps. All right. Have a wonderful day. Looking forward to seeing some of those awesome tasks that you're going to develop. And don't forget to share anything that you develop at Sweet Starla on Twitter, or just email me. And we would love to hear some of the great work that's happening within the network. Bye. Thanks. Have a great day.